All right, howdy. Welcome back to Windley Mania, the greatest podcast you never heard of, brought to you by the greatest band that you've never heard of, that band being Windley. You have to go to @Windley_band on all the socials to keep up with the world of Windley. Windley. I'm the best in the world, and Andrew Reidner. And with me, as always, man's best friend, a.k.a. finger-looking good, Devin Hopkins. I thought about that. Guess where I thought about that?
You were not at KFC because you hate KFC. You despise KFC.
That's a whole nother story. I've written off KFC. You
could do like a 6-part episode about your hatred for KFC.
Colonel Sanders, to me, when this whole little thing I like to call life started out, he was a god. And slowly, God turned his back on me after so many cuts from the menu and so many changings of
popcorn
herbs and
chicken.
spices.
Come on, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I have nothing but disdain for that man now. And but
he died though, right? So then,
who
didn't the Colonel died?
Yeah, but
he's dead as shit. He's burning in hell.
Yeah. So it was really the ones who took over who took this from you, right?
Well, it's
on this
him in a more spiritual sense.
Oh, okay.
He's still among us in some way or another, and I don't like him.
His spirit lives on.
Yeah. But
so let's talk more about the lore of KFC. what exactly? What's the story here? Because I don't know enough.
Are we just gonna talk?
Let's talk.
Should we introduce?
I'm thrown off completely. I'm thrown off completely now.
Should we properly get our lovely guests introduced?
We should let
them go around.
I got prematurely heated.
Yeah,
sounds very disgusting. But
it's whatever floats your boat, man.
We're not alone here in the storage unit, as I like to say. We have a special guest, a band that it's been around since 2019, correct? From Darlington, South Carolina. And we're going to learn more about them. They're called Cleansweep. That's correct. Cleansweep. And we are not allowed to know how they got the name of the band. We're going to leave that up to the one of the great mysteries of the world.
Yes.
And,
only the Colonel knows.
Because it's a mystery to them.
It's a mystery to them.
But I first saw Cleansweep back in January. They played with us at the Brick House, and it was fantastic. And they played Myrtle Beach 2 more times after that. I saw them the last time at Fresh Brewed. But Cleansweep, let's go around the room and introduce everyone. Who are you? What do you do? Let's start. Yeah, they're all pointing at you. So
I'm Colonel Sanders. I'm Tanner. I'm the vocalist of the band.
I'm Andy. I play bass.
I'm Christian. I attempt to play guitar.
Okay.
My name is Joshua McDowell. I play drums.
Hell yeah!
Right on. So how did you guys there's so many questions I have, but how did Cleansweep start? What was your backgrounds and stuff? Did you guys know each other beforehand? Were you playing other bands?
That's a Tanner question.
Yeah, so I was playing in a metalcore band, and me and a buddy that is actually not in this band started Cleansweep as just a little acoustic side project. I ended up leaving this other band. Didn't do music for a long time, and kind of my buddy, he didn't want to do anything, so I was just writing solo stuff, and I'm still using the name Cleansweep. Eventually I met up with some guys that are actually not the band either. We started playing as a full band, Cleansweep. Things didn't work out with those members, and soon we got Christian. When the other guys left, we got Josh and Andy, so here we are today.
Very solid lineup.
Thank you.
Seems like everything led to the right
group
lineup.
Of guys.
Yeah. Good group of guys. Just guys hanging out.
Good hangs. Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better vibe in the practice room and on stage. They're great dudes, great musicians.
Yeah, you guys really do have that energy, and you guys tell you guys all lock in really well.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely don't play for the fucking money, right? If we did that, then we probably wouldn't have been a band very long. But honestly, I love getting up with these guys. I've played in several bands, and I've never clicked with anybody like I click with these guys. So if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now.
Same.
So are you all of you guys from Darlington? Or
Darlington, Florence area, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was privy to a Florence scene that's now being rejuvenated again, as we saw now would be like a few weeks ago. But
Yeah, they're starting back up.
Yeah,
starting back up. Some
But,
hardcore shows, metalcore shows.
Yeah. But a Darlington scene when
It doesn't exist.
It does
it
not
doesn't exist.
Trust me, it does not exist.
Really?
No.
Are you got like what goes on in Darlington besides
The race?
The obvious?
Besides the race, nothing.
Riverdale.
Yeah, as a
Nothing.
caveat to what Tanner said, though, they had started the band. My buddy Wes, who is the promoter for the Radio Room in Greenville, messaged me and said, "Hey, you know these guys, Cleansweep out of Darlington? They just messaged me." I checked them out, and I was like, "Oh, these guys are great. This came out of Darlington." So that's actually kind of how I met Tanner. Was I messaged him about that, and then he said they needed a drummer and a bass player, and I was like, "Well, I got the perfect bass player, Andy." So we all kind of got together, and it meshed well, and the chemistry's great, and between us and the Colonel, we make it happen.
We make it happen, Kevin.
It's all going great.
All the herbs and spices blend together very nice.
No, if they were affiliated with him, you would have let me know, possibly, and they wouldn't be here right
So
now.
that's my ploy, Andrew.
Yeah, you know I hate that.
This is we're overthrowing.
I mean, it's
Did you
kind
know
of too
white
late
pepper
now.
is
You
one of
kind
the
of already
13 herbs and spices they don't tell you about? I saw on Reddit somebody posted a disgruntled employee, so in case you ever...
In case you
I'm
want
getting off
to
track
They're
here.
giving out secrets, man. The Colonel, someone will come to your house from KFC and want to talk to you.
Yeah, secret ingredient is definitely not white pepper. Okay, anyway.
the Kentucky Fried Killer will be right there.
This whole episode is just going to end up being us
Sponsored
talking about
by
KFC.
KFC.
Watch it. Like,
Do you guys like KFC? 'Cause-
dude, I fucking hate KFC.
Yeah, okay.
it was
So-
always too greasy.
Really
for me.
haven't had it in a long time.
So when I was 16, I went to one of my buddies' like birthday parties, and it was just like maybe 4 of us, but his aunt got like 5 buckets of KFC, and we fucked that KFC up. That
Oh, and it ruined it for you.
yeah, and then like we got drunk as shit afterwards.
Okay.
And this is no fucking lie. One of my buddies went outside to puke. And once he came back in, I had to puke, so I went to go puke where he puked, and there was a whole fucking chicken leg in his puke. Bro puked up. Here's the thing about it, though. Like, I look back on it, it's like, bro probably didn't puke up a whole chicken leg. He probably, like, had the chicken leg in his hand and dropped it in his puke, but, like,
Yeah.
that's
not the story we're
That's
going
not
on.
a fun fucking story. No, bro puked the whole fucking chicken leg up.
Yeah, we can go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No bone though, of course.
No, the fucking bone, everything.
You see, that would be very like he's attempting to eat the bone.
I mean, he could have been. I mean, he was drunk. Who knows, dude?
What's the statute of limitations on underage drinking? You just...
Like, I mean, but to be fair, there's so much grease in a KFC chicken leg, the bone loses like,
It's like all
it's
this
like just rubber at that
density,
point.
It's
I
like
mean,
a mush.
yeah.
Someone needs to stop them. I think that's why I've gathered you all here today. Because we're gonna come up with a plan. No, but okay. So, but Darlington, nothing going on. Where would you guys play? Would you try to go out of town, or is there
I've
something
got
there?
a story about that actually.
Okay.
So there's a guy in Darlington, and he's been in a bunch of bands, but anyways, he's part of like this motorcycle club. So he hits me up one day and he's like, "Hey, my club's getting together, having this big event. There's gonna be hundreds of people. You know, you guys want to come out and play?" And like, if you know our music, you know probably we're not gonna go over very well with a group of bikers, but we were like, "Fuck it, we never get to play in Darlington. It could be cool." We get there and there's like 10 people. You know,
I always love the promise of hundreds of people. It's like,
Yeah.
this show's going to be great. There's going to be so many people.
Hundreds of bikers. What could go
yeah,
wrong?
so we get there and there's like
that.
10 people there, and they have a metal building that we set up under.
Yeah, that's great for sound, live
Exactly.
sound.
Yeah. So we get about 3 songs into our set, and they're like, "Hey, can you move outside?" So
How do
we're
you tell a
like-
band they suck without telling them they suck?
pretty much?
Go outside.
So we're like, you know what? Nobody's really listening. We're just gonna go home. You know, whatever. We weren't getting paid or anything. And then before we know it, we're being swarmed by all these bikers, or well, these 10 bikers that are there. Right?
But 10 bikers would seem like a swarm. Yeah.
One biker equates to at least 3 or 4
Right.
people.
Yeah.
So
And
like
intimidation.
the 10 bikers and the bartender, start grabbing our shit and taking it outside.
No,
Oh, they're helping.
yeah, they're helping. It's like they're talking about it, like they're talking to him, and I'm just watching, and they're going back and forth. And I just hear the one lady, the bartender, is like, "All right, everybody, let's help them set up outside." And they all swarm there, helping us, quote unquote, helping us, and everything to get outside. And I'm like, okay, I guess we have no other choice. We can't go home. We have to finish the set.
Yeah, so like the one guy that invited us, obviously he was there. It's super great guy, by the way, not talking shit about him. Love you, Michael. But nonetheless, he was like the only one sitting there listening, so it was really awkward. But so yeah, we don't play Darlington shows anymore.
No, but you still hail from there.
Man, it's where you come from.
I feel like we've kind of moved to saying we're from Florence since.
Yeah, three out of 4 of us live in Florence.
Yeah,
so.
I claim Florence because I've lived there the longest, but
I spent 18 years in Darlington. That was enough.
Yeah, but it's more quirky to say we're from Darlington.
Yeah.
It is. It's like that's what got my attention the first time was like Darlington, and then like your website, it says something along the lines of like the Darlington emo scene.
What is that? Who put that on our website? I didn't do that.
Something along those lines, and I was like, the emo scene.
all 5 of us.
Here we are.
It's alive and well. It's in this room.
There's one,
Weren't you gonna do a zine from when you lived in Elgin about all the bands that played there? You should do something about how thriving the Darlington emo scene is.
Yeah, I was gonna do this when I was going to school in Columbia. I lived. You guys know where Elgin is?
Yeah.
So you guys have been through Elgin?
I talked to a girl from Elgin one time.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah. But I was going to make a fake zine talking about like this emerging punk scene in Elgin, South Carolina, and just make up a bunch of like fake like bands and just They played at the Bojangles by the IGA. It's like,
what's up, Bojangles?
Christian, you told me Dale Jr. is a big emo fan, so I bet when he comes through Darlington, he's looking for the emerging emo band.
Man. He actually,
he was at a
he is. He's an Angels fan.
He was at the Angels and Airways show that we were at.
Yeah. He's a Tiny Moving Parts fan.
Yeah, he'll talk to those bands on his podcast and stuff too. I'm pretty sure.
Hey man, Tom DeLonge's a great guy, man.
Shout out,
man, Tom DeLonge, man.
Dale, he's right here. Holy shit!
Bojangles biscuit and some Angels and Airways, man. Ain't nothing like it. I'm not shitting on Dale. Dale, I'm sure, is a great guy.
Sounds like it, dude. I'd hang out with him and eat Bojangles and listen to Angels all day. Feels like I'm right here with him right now.
At least for an hour or two.
Go fast though.
Are we gonna go fast?
What about would you eat KFC and listen to Angels with him though?
I got stuff to do that day.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would betray his heritage like that.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's do you guys just play guitar and bass, or do you guys do like multi-instrumental stuff?
Funny story about that. Our most recent show, Josh. What do you want to tell him? What instrument you hopped on from behind the kit?
So, our latest single,
Stay available on all streaming services.
Listening all the way here, by the way.
It's kind of an acoustic, kind of a ballady tune, and it does get big at the end with full band and drums. We were trying to think of a way to promote the single, but also to be able to play it live. So I have an accordion that I haven't played in many years because at one point I was kind of playing with a band and kind of a folky group, and a guy in the band said, "Oh, I've got an accordion in the closet back there," and we thought, "Oh, that would be cool to put on this." So that guy ended up leaving the band. I bought an accordion to play with that band, and it's also sat in my closet for about 5 years. And I was telling Tanner, well, we've got a keyboard part that kind of is in the background of our new single, Stay, available on all streaming services. And I said, I've got this accordion. I don't know the buttons. I'm going to be transparent. I don't know what all the buttons do. I know they're obviously chords, but the keys part, I know some little piano. So that's always my cheat code. Play the keys part, and you just have to get the bellows right. And I'm doing a sweeping motion with my arms.
It's a pretty clean sweeping motion.
Yes, a clean sweep.
It's a very clean sweep motion. That's where the band name came from.
I love that. We're going with that.
Yeah.
And so we said, let's maybe I can adapt this keys part to accordion. So we were Aristocrat in Columbia a couple weeks ago, and we brought
Shout
the
out
acoustic.
Bombardier.
Shout out Bombardier.
And Middle Tooth.
Shout out Tom Cruise, Middle Tooth. And
who are these characters? What?
They're some local Columbia band. So
is that why they're called Middle Tooth? Because of Tom Cruise's Middle Tooth?
Yeah,
I confirmed.
Actually,
this was my theory, and I confirmed it with the band at our last show.
Because I've seen them on flyers and stuff. I was like, Middle Tooth.
So I kind of kept the accordion hidden all night behind the drum set, and as soon as Tanner started playing the acoustic guitar, brought it out. And it was a cool little moment. It was really loud though. Listen back to the playbacks. It was really loud.
The accordion was really loud, but not loud enough to block out the one drunk chick that was like, "Is that a fucking accordion?"
Was she upset that there was an accordion?
No,
just mind blowing.
I don't know. She was drunk,
I
but
think it blew her mind.
I think she was just like, "Holy shit, a band playing an accordion!"
Wow.
Like you could have, he could have pulled out a flute. And they wouldn't have been as surprised as they were when he pulled out that accordion.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the thing. It's very novel, and when you pull that out of the show, it is kind of like how do you?
It is.
Yeah. How do you enhance this acoustic song? Well, you bring out an accordion halfway through and get everybody. Anybody who was like, well, I'll go get a drink because it's an acoustic song. Now they're right back in.
It pulled them back in.
Yeah,
you should make that a bit. Every time y'all play that song, you have a different instrument.
I like that.
Yeah.
Or just play the accordion throughout more songs.
I'm gonna play the accordion and drums at the same time.
There you go.
Even doing our heavy
Like
songs.
accordion roulette. You just don't know what song.
You don't know when it's going to come out, but
Yeah.
Busting accordion out on Slobber Knocker. That'd be fun to watch.
yeah, that's have to do four
We'll
on the
start the set
floor.
with that, yeah.
You'll start, yeah.
Play the lead on the accordion instead of the guitar.
Funny story. One time in Hartsville, we played a Frets and Necks Fest with an old band I was with. I was playing accordion. I actually got offered a job at an Italian restaurant to come and play accordion. I said, no, it's not that serious. I'm not, I don't want to come play your Italian restaurant for 4 hours on a Friday. But anyway, that's a side note. But a lot of us are multi-instrumentalists. My main instrument is actually guitar, then drums, then way in the back accordion. Andy certainly is a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, what do you do?
I can kind of play guitar.
He's really good. He's really good.
I know a few chords.
He's a twinkle daddy.
Yeah.
I am far and away the worst guitar player in the band. I want that on.
No, that's
I want
Why
that
do
on
you work
record
guitar?
because that's the only thing I can play.
Seems like a terrible
they keep me
strategy.
around because I tell funny jokes.
Christian's amazing.
They
We
keep me
love
around because I
Christian.
tell funny
It's the
jokes.
Dale Jr.
There we
impression.
go. There we go. No, but yeah, no. Yeah. Well, Tanner, you play what?
So I play mainly just guitar and sing, a little bit of piano. Played banjo one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
How'd that
kind
go?
of not good, but it was fun though. I just found like the basic chords on banjo and mandolin, and then I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not gonna be in a bluegrass band." So I put it down and never picked it back up again. But actually, I sold. It was like this really old 4-string banjo that a friend gave me, and I think I sold it for like $30.
You profited.
Yeah, I did.
That's what.
Calls you
That's
up. Hey man, that was a family heirloom. Do you by chance still have that?
It's actually worth like $3,000, and I'd like to get
shit.
some. I'd like to get some coin for that if I can.
That would suck.
A Civil War relic.
Civil War relic. Oh God.
so. Who writes the tunes? How do you guys come together to make the
Colonel.
tunes?
Our Colonel right there.
I guess, yeah.
That's you for people not keeping up.
Yeah.
Colonel
If you
Tander.
skip the first part of the podcast. So yeah, actually, a lot of these songs I wrote maybe 10 years ago. Like "Stick Around" was a 2014 song.
Wow.
And I mean, there's new ones too, but it was kind of cool with Cleansweep because I had all these songs that I'd wrote away from bands and stuff I never did with. I never did anything with them, and these guys came along and kind of made them awesome. So it was cool to see those songs come to life. And obviously, we wrote some new stuff. But yeah, I'm probably primary songwriter.
Okay. Do you usually send the song out like individually? Or you just present it at like your practice space?
A little bit of both. I would say more recently, I maybe come in with an idea, a song that's not written yet. And something I've never had with bands is everybody kind of contributing in the songwriting. I've always been the primary songwriter. So it's been really cool to be with some like-minded guys that can take a stupid idea that I have and turn into something fucking awesome. So, that's really cool.
Well, how do you think that changes some of the stuff you're making now that, as opposed to being by yourself and working with other people, like what?
It makes it not shitty anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
The main one.
No, it so I think what's so cool is like we all draw from different influences. So I might come in with something that sounds like a little shitty emo tune, and you know, Josh brings in these driving drums, and Christian writes this badass breakdown riff, and out of nowhere we've got a Cleansweep song. It's no longer a Tanner song. So, you know, just drawing from all those influences really make a difference.
Okay. Well, if it's everything different, who do you guys each like try to pull from, like influence wise?
For me, it depends on like who's my favorite artist of like the week or the month. I guess you could say I'm kind of really impressionable. Like he can, like honestly, if I bring a riff to these guys, they can kind of tell who I've been listening to that week. If I bring in something that's a little bit more upbeat, you know, they'll say, okay, he's been listening to Blink. You know, or I'll bring in something else and they'll say, okay, that's a little shoegazy. You know, it's just dirtier, but it's a little more melodic and it's very full sounding. Okay, so they're like, okay, maybe something like Super Heaven or something. But so it really just depends for me, at least. I'm just really impressionable by what I'm listening to.
And I think I draw from like a lot of the old school emo bands. I guess you say old school, kind of like Yellow Card and Dashboard.
That's old school now, by the way.
That is
Old school, yeah.
By the way, just a side note on that. On the radio at work, like we play the classic rock station, and they play Green Day on the classic rock station.
What Green Day?
Like Basket Case. That's considered classic rock now.
That happened when
Green Day.
I had the van that we rented for the weekend run, and I couldn't like hook my phone up to listen to what I wanted, so I just had it on Wave 104.1, the classic rock station. They were playing all the small things. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Please, no.
It's time. We're here now.
It really hurt me.
This is where we are.
Yeah.
So we played a show in Columbia with Bombardier and Middletooth a couple months ago, and I realized we were the oldest guys there.
Damn.
You know, like that was kind of a shock to me, and a lot of our music kind of draws back from like that early 2000s emo scene where they're probably a little more like into the whole indie scene, like current indie scene, you know. And like I called Christian, I was like, dude, we're fucking old. Like we're gonna go up here and it's gonna be like we're playing with like Knuckle Puck and fucking The Story So Far. They're fucking old bands now. Damn it. Anyways, and we're
newfangled band.
yeah, it's like we're playing with
They're doing a choreo cover.
And then just for the shits and giggles, you throw Striper in there. We're fucking Striper. But
like, Striper? Who's Striper?
This is offensive to me because I know how much older I am than y'all, you guys.
Oh, hush.
A couple of those Striper guys live in Myrtle, so
Do they really?
Do they really?
To hell with the devil. Shout out.
yeah.
Shout out Striper.
So-
Hey, get Striper on the pod sometime.
We gotta go. They're within reach.
I got in trouble in Sunday
Talk
school
about
as a
Christ.
kid for quoting that.
You quoted that.
I was like, this is the perfect place to quote.
They have their own Bibles.
They have their own
by the way,
Bible.
no disrespect to Striper. I was just saying we're old.
Striper's great.
Yeah.
But going back to that,
They're older
I
than
think the first band they covered Taking Back Sunday as soon as we got there. So I was like, dude, see, like we're not actually that
Middletooth,
old.
yeah. So we knew we were good. These guys are great.
You guys did Yellow Card when y'all played here, and people got it.
Yeah, I was happy.
Oh yeah,
I was happy.
they popped up. We knew they would.
You guys also did the Time After Time.
Yes, you did
That was
that too. That
badass.
was fucking sick.
You like that one? That
Yeah.
one was so.
I think that's our most well received
Yeah,
cover. We should
yeah.
probably keep playing that. Yeah.
I just always assumed that was a very popular cover tune. But apparently it's not as common as I thought it was,
No.
because every time we play it, people are just like, "Wow!" Like I didn't realize. Okay, wow! Like they're really impressed, and it sounds really. They're really ready to hear it. Like they haven't heard 10 other bands play it in the past month.
I can't think of. It seems like it would have been on one of those like Punk Goes Pop compilations or something like that, but I don't think anyone ever touched it.
Well, I feel like it's.
You guys should do it. You guys should record it.
We have talked about recording.
We have talked.
Yeah. I feel like there's such a fine line with covers when you're an original band, right? Because it's like you want to play these really obscure covers, but nobody's gonna get it, you know.
This
so
guy's got a
I'm
look.
always
like-
suggesting shit they don't want to play.
Yeah, should we do that My
Same.
Buddy Valentine cover? Yeah, it's
but
kind of.
also like you don't want to go up and play something that's been beat to death because
Exactly.
nobody's gonna remember that, right? So that's been an issue trying to find like good covers, because we always thought Damn It
That's
was
just-
a good cover, you know, and then Costin was like, honestly, if you guys wanted to play Time After Time and just play Damn It, I wouldn't have gave a fuck about you guys. And I was like, oh, okay.
See, I forgot that y'all played Damn It at that show until just now.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's so done. But yeah, when you do Time After Time, then all of a sudden it's memorable. And I think we should record it, because I would welcome Cyndi Lauper's lawyers to send us a cease and desist, because then that would mean we have reached a new level of.
You print that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, we
that on
print
a
that. Yeah,
t-shirt
we print it
and
out
frame
and
that on the
sell
wall,
it,
dude.
and I think we do an interesting enough cover of it. It's not like when we do Damn It, it's a note by note cover of Damn It, whereas with Time After Time we put our spin on it, and there's no synthesizers, there's no drum machine 808. It's our thing that we do,
It's very stripped down, garagey.
and I
kind of.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
By the
very
way,
happy with
I've,
that.
just pointing out the Steve Austin figurine in here.
There is a Steve Austin figure.
So everybody knows what the Slobber Knocker reference is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good
yes,
old
yes.
JR.
You guys have a song called Slobber Knocker.
We do, yeah. Huge WWE fan, by the way, or former WWE. I'm a recovering WWE fan.
Okay.
But anyways, we put the little JR soundbite in Slobber Knocker, and we were all kind of worried at first. We're like, what if WWE sends us like a cease and desist and we have to take the song down? And it's kind of like, if they do that,
Yes,
I'm
please.
fucking hanging that on my wall.
Right.
That's becoming my MySpace profile picture. Like,
Did you say MySpace?
yeah.
You still rocking MySpace?
We're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back.
Follow us
okay.
at Clean
Yeah.
Sweep.
We're
Add
back. Us and
top
Justin
eight.
Timberlake. We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Right on.
You can
Guess who's
actually go stream Slobber Knocker on MySpace.
It's nice. That's
Actually, I put the Winley stuff on MySpace a couple years ago. I haven't checked on it. I don't know who's listening.
You guys have a message right now waiting. You
By
got
the
so
way,
many friend requests made.
Nobody try to stream Slobber Knocker on MySpace. It's not on there. This is just a bit. I promise you.
I'm being completely serious.
Can you
can-
go ahead?
I was-
Yeah,
well, I
it's
was-
like, does
yeah,
anything
I was
come up
listening
if
to
you
it
type in
when you were-
Yeah, can you go there? Can you
I haven't
tried
been
it
on
in
it.
years.
I haven't been on it in a
Let me
while.
see right now. Can we go?
can. I tried it.
Internet's still
Yeah.
connecting here.
Oh, that's right.
I
Okay.
tried it a couple months ago on my,
You can get on the Wayback Machine and look it up.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh man. Be 13 and think
I
you have real
remember.
problems.
Can I talk about the first time I was conflicted as a young child? Was I think it was WrestleMania 3, and Hulk Hogan faced the Ultimate Warrior,
Ooh, that's a
and
good one.
that was the first time in my life I was like, I don't know who to root for. I'm very conflicted right now, and for the first time in my life,
I think that was 6 or
was
7.
that 6?
Yeah.
It was an early one. I remember my grandpa would always. We had a guy who would get the pay-per-views, and we would record them on a VHS so we could save them for later, And I remember always being a Hulk Hogan fan, but then Warrior was like my number 2 guy. But then it was like, who do I root for? Because he's like, there was no clear heel there. And then Ultimate Warrior ended up winning on like kind of a sketchy thing at the end. And then I remember wishing he wouldn't have won. So I guess it was really not conflicted ultimately. But it was in my tiny 7-year-old brain. That was a
tough day for you.
it was a tough day. It was a
I mean,
tough
it's
day.
well documented. He was a huge douche, right? Isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Ultimate
huge-
Both of them, really.
Yeah,
but
I
both
think
of them,
Ultimate
yeah,
Warrior,
especially Warrior.
There's a lot coming out recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a wrestlers are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
They're all dumb.
You want to?
Yeah.
They're dumb. I feel like some of them will tell you that yeah, it's pretty stupid that I leave my house for a week and hurt myself, but and try to whore myself out for money with T-shirts. But
It's a lot of money though.
Yeah, but I mean,
Y'all
what they
seen
lack in
sometimes-
IQ, they make up for muscle mass.
yeah, well, yeah, some of them.
Y'all seen The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
Oh, the movie. Yeah,
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah,
It's really good. It's a really good film. If you haven't seen it,
Did y'all see the Iron Claw trailer?
I have not.
It's
with
about the Von Erich
yeah.
family.
Oh, dude, I was watching Dark Side of the Ring. The
Yeah.
episode about them. Dude, it's a tragedy.
Yeah,
man. It's
just the
crazy
whole
what happened
curse.
with them. That family was cursed. It's depressing. Like my girlfriend she does not care for wrestling, but she'll watch those shows with me, and she's like, "Ooh, can we put on another episode?" And she watched that one, and it almost had her in tears. She's like, "It's just so sad." Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what the general reaction is going to be to that movie, just because it's like this is what happens with this business that's been around for a long time is shit
Yeah.
like this, and then there's even deeper rabbit holes of stories. But I don't even know if because it's always been that way. Anytime wrestling gets in a sticky spot, in like the mainstream. Like you can even look back at like the Benoit stuff, or even last year or the year before with all the the McMahon stuff. I mean, no one really gives a shit because it's wrestling, but it's like a very real, like some of the shit that happens is like a very real thing, and sometimes there isn't consequences. I don't know. It's a whole discussion. We're talking about clean sweep.
We are. But as a last note on that, what if they bring the Colonel to WWE?
Didn't they do
he was a downloadable character in one of the games.
No shit.
I remember there was like a commercial with him in it, and
Kurt Angle was the Colonel.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt
Okay.
Angle was because it was when they kept getting different celebrities to be him in the commercial. Like they had Jim Gaffigan, they had Norm Macdonald.
Norm
for a little
Macdonald.
bit.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. I was watching some Norm Macdonald stuff earlier, and they brought
Shout
it
What
up.
a genius!
But, anyway,
Genius.
But like I think it was like part of Monday Night Raw. They had Kurt Angle as the Colonel. I think a different week it was somebody else. But I think he was a downloadable character in one of the games for a little bit. I don't remember which one. You could probably find someone probably made him. Also, you can download those too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about fried okra? You for it?
Fried okra.
This is how our practices go. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's
I'm for
gonna know a lot about like
Just-
WWE and fried
fried okra.
food, but very little about
Clean
clean
Sweep?
sweep after this episode.
I was going to ask a question, but now we got to talk about fried okra. I don't want to feel. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I prefer,
I like,
that's the only way I
I'm
eat
for it.
okra.
Yeah, I fuck with it.
I like the seared the seared okra.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's cut real thin though, if it's cut too thick, it gets too slimy.
Or what am I
Yeah.
thinking of? What's the stuff? It's okra, right?
It could be
I don't know. Someone made me these like green things and they seared them, and I was like, "This is fucking good, dude."
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
I love
There
Brussels
we go.
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are
that's where it's
good.
at.
Yeah.
Far City, though.
I'm not good at vegetables.
I'm not great at them either.
It's gonna hurt me one day, but so far I'm doing okay. But Clean Sweep has a plethora of singles out. Did you guys like record all those at the same time? Have you guys been slowly releasing them, or like what's
That's a great question.
Yeah, so rookie mistake on our end.
How many songs do you guys have out right now? It's
So
like 6
we
or 7.
have-
We recorded 12 last June.
Okay, so so
June
rookie
of
mistake
22.
on our end, right? And I think we have probably about 5 or 6 songs out right now.
Yeah.
I don't know last time I counted, but so we were pretty much doing like single after single when we first started. We had 3 singles out there, and then we're like, yeah, we're gonna go record a 12 track, just because everybody wants to record an album, right? So that was
Summer of 21.
summer of 21, and after pre-production, the original members of Clean Sweep split up. So it was just Christian and I left, and Josh and Andy hadn't joined on yet. So we were kind of in like this weird limbo where everybody had to learn the material and then grow the material. But we just wrapped up recording in
March? April?
it was about a month before we dropped Slobber Knocker, so it was somewhere earlier this year. We've got 12 tracks that are not going to be in an album. We don't know how we're going to release them yet. It's kind of still a work in process, but I think it'll be cool. It at least gives us some stuff to put out while we're working on new material.
That's really cool.
So let's get the Windley thought on this, because we've been debating this because
We're the terrible people to ask about how to be. So if you look at our Spotify, it'll say 2018 and then it says 2022. So like,
It's amazing how quickly those breaks go by, right?
yeah.
and I'm an old head. I'm 40, full transparency, and I'm from the album decade of people who I love albums.
Yeah.
I always thought in my mind, well, this is pre-streaming. You pour all your heart and soul into a album of a collection of songs. You birth that into the world, and then you take what happens. But now that streaming has come along, it's changed the game entirely. So you think, is it better to, just kind of trickle out single after single, which we've done, which we've agreed that's probably the way to do it. But then after you release these singles, I noticed Blink has done this with their new stuff. After you drop these singles, do you then drop them into a EP once they're released? Do you like subcategorize them after the fact, or is it better to release like one single with a couple of songs tacked on that aren't maybe singles? What are you guys' thoughts?
This is what I've learned, and if you want to cut this out, you can. But they ask, so I'm going to answer for the little bit of knowledge I know, which I learned from Jimmy, by the way, because that's what he's doing with Turn For It stuff. You can waterfall your single releases into an EP, and then you can move that EP into the album later. That's one way to do it. But like, I think that's kind of like the musical like business norm nowadays, quote unquote, to like do like singles to an EP, like do EP releases, because you got to keep people's attention. And
People aren't
everyone's
going to sit down with the whole album.
Yeah,
Not
I
anymore.
will sit down with a full album. I love a full album.
There's definitely still an audience for
Yeah.
full albums.
There's an
I feel
audience
like,
for full albums, but like in the sense of like trying to grow your band and keep a bunch of people's attention and try to grow it, you got to like spit out the singles and do it that way.
Yeah, you do got to play
which is
the
pretty
game,
lame.
yeah.
You got to play the game for it.
Yeah.
Which by the time this is out, we've probably got a song or two out, and
Sweet.
I'm sure the EP's announced by the time this is released. But
Nice.
you can check
Awesome.
that stuff out if it's out. But yeah,
Check it out.
But
Check out New Windley.
that's what we'll be doing. We're doing a single release, then another single release, and when that second one comes out, it'll be tacked onto the first. And then when the whole shit drops, it'll all be like it'll be all together, because you can use the same code and it'll keep all your numbers and shit like that. That was the dumb guy explanation for it. I can tell you.
That it was great.
I can tell you
It was great.
I can tell you people to talk to that'll give you a smart guy explanation about it.
That was kind of our thoughts too, honestly. Since we had 12 songs, we're like, hey, we've got a few singles out.
You
Can
can
we group these as an EP and then do the same thing for the next?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we'll
if you
work
want to
on
like
new stuff.
if you want to like keep like a consistent like release thing, you can split that into 2 EPs, or you can just say fuck it. I want to have an album out, drop the album.
Well, you know, and like that's kind of what I've been battling with, right? Because like I guess my motto has never been I don't really want to do this like a full-time job, right? I just love playing music, right? I have a passion for the craft, and every now and then I catch myself kind of getting lost in the sauce of it all. You know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly
it's
what
like
you
gotta
mean.
stream. You
Yeah.
know, we got to make X amount of posts, and then I'm like, I fucking hate this.
Thank
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just let Devin do it. I don't.
Yeah,
It sucks. It sucks, and I hate it a lot.
Yeah.
But
it's a necessary evil if you want to grow your brand, and I understand that. But like, I feel like also at certain points you also have to remember, hey, why am I doing this? You know,
Yeah.
like, am I doing this just to rack up a shit ton of streams, or am I trying to go out with my friends, play music, have a good time? And
I have to have people like Andrew level me sometimes, because you told me like when we were driving last week, you're like, yeah, that's how I've always looked at it. Like, I do this so we can leave the house and have fun together.
There we
And
go.
it's
I love
like-
that take. That's great.
Like, and Garrett told me his reason for it, and it's like, I gotta have these guys level me because I get into my head about it. So I know
Right.
exactly where you're coming from.
Devin, what's it like playing bass in every Myrtle Beach band?
I'm tired. That's all I can really say is I'm tired.
Feel that.
You feel that? Andy's got a similar. Yeah, Andy is bass players. You guys are.
You got other bands now?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Not really playing any shows with the other one, but you know, it's a
Something
thing.
in the works.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, now growing up in Florence, like I think I joined my first band like 2010, 2012, something like that, and I've been in bands off and on since then. So
Who's your favorite bass player?
I don't know. I like Geddy Lee a lot.
Geddy Lee rules.
I mean, that's
a good answer.
It's a great answer.
Good answer. Also, Tim from Rage Against the Machine. Like, I just love those heavy grooves.
Oh yeah.
And shout
For
out
sure.
Mike Todd, because you know,
Oh yeah.
Mike
Fuck
Todd,
yeah.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. Mike Todd.
yeah,
How you feel about
One of the
Zach
greats.
Super Duper Cooper?
love Zach Cooper. But I don't know. Those first few records, man, they're kind of untouchable to me. Like, especially the first 3. I don't know.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I get that.
But no, most Cahoot I love. So.
I scouted Andy out at the Cootie Hut back in like 2012.
The Cootie Hut.
Found him, and I was like, I need
Oh,
this
dude, the
guy
Cootie
in my
Hut is
band.
The Cootie
legendary.
Hut. Hold on.
The,
The Cootie Hut.
the legendary.
I heard y'all talking
Florence
about this
venue.
outside, and I didn't know what it was.
So the Cootie Hut is a Florence staple. If anyone from Florence is listening, you'll know the Cootie Hut. So back in the 90s and early 2000s, and it still exists to this day. So
The building, like
the building,
building,
there is a place near the airport in Florence where the VFW is, And around the VFW are all these smaller buildings like the Knights of Templar and
the Shriners and stuff
Shriners,
like that. Like veterans, like
there's a building that was in charge of the Order of the Cootie. Now, what that actually
really
that's a legit. What
this is legit.
So what? It's part of the VFW.
It's part of the VFW greater complex, and it was a way for veterans to go play cards with each other and get away from their wives.
Like Korean War vets, I think.
Yeah, they're hanging out with their bros, and it's a small building, probably about the size of the back end of Fresh Brewed, and it's just an empty room. There's a bathroom and a kitchen, and it's concrete floors, and they would let people rent it out for shows. And so over the years, many legendary Florence shows and infamous shows have happened at the Cootie Hut. And you could rent it out for $100, and then I think it was like $200 or whatever over the years. And it would change hands a few times. It would get shut down. Somebody wouldn't want to rent it anymore, and then somebody else would kind of
get busted for underage drinking.
Always busted for underage. The cops would show up, and it would ruin the show, and everybody would scatter. But it was like really the only place you could go if you were underage and wanted to go see a show. But a lot of people have played there over the years. I'm just thinking of I remember like one of the shows I went to was Sent by Ravens, and Harry and the Potters played. I've been in a lot of bands that have played there over the years, but it's no longer there. But well, how did we get on the Cootie Hut? But that's why I found Andy there.
Yeah, you found Andy.
Yeah, Andy was playing there with Blue Bolt.
Hanging out.
Which, by the way, I think we should all go on change.org and start a petition to bring the Cootie Hut back.
Bring back the Cootie Hut.
Bring back the Cootie, yeah.
Bring back the
we
Cootie
want the
Hut.
Cootie.
Bring the Cootie.
So actually, if I'm not mistaken, Ethan Lewis, he has been trying to get the Cootie Hut back, but they're like, hell no.
Shout out, Ethan.
Shout out, Ethan. He's doing a lot for Florence right now.
Hottest show we've ever played was at the house show.
So, Devin, I know you were at that house.
Yes.
But you got to play it in October.
Yes.
Which was probably pleasant.
That's where we were last week.
Yeah. Okay, you were there too, Andrew?
Yeah, he was filling in with the band.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
I mean, you saw, like, it's a pretty small area to play in, right? Pack about 30 people in there, right? Which doesn't sound like a lot, but in that small of a space, yes.
It's about as big as where we are now.
And it's also
July.
July and 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. No.
Yeah, that's it was brutal. You know,
fun.
I was comfortable the whole time too.
Man,
Even when we
I was
played,
not. I was not comfortable. We had like a 20-minute set, and we played "Stick Around" as our opening song, and we were going into Letdown afterwards. And I just remember going into the song and going, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm not going to be able to do this." You know, so somehow we made it through the set. But dude, that is the hottest show I've ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal. And I'm not going to say I'm never going to play that house again, but I will never play it in the middle of July before sunset.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was drumming in there, and I'll try to look out for Tanner since I also have a mic, and I'll try to if I see he's Tanner really gets into it. He's a great front man. He's giving all the energy up there, and so I'll try to always be on the lookout if I need to catch a breath. So I tried to jump in at one point towards the end, and I remember thinking, I don't have breath. Yeah. I also am without breath right now. And we made it through. I remember just thinking, we just got to get through this song. We got to get through this song, and then the next song, and we made it.
Yeah, it's the longest 20-minute set.
That was the longest 20-minute set ever. I'm glad we didn't play 40-minute set that day, because we would not have been able to.
Those shows that are just extra hot are always the most brutal.
But yeah, shout out to the only people in the Florence scene. That's great. Thanks, Ethan. Yeah. Thanks, Bathsheba guys.
Thanks a lot.
And,
who are doing great now, by the way. Thank God they're back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was a band from Connecticut who came to play that same night, and the drummer almost died.
Damn.
We had to fan him and pour ice on him because they were not used to that smoke and
that heat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. So, but yeah, shout out those guys doing great things. We love that anything's happening in Florence at all, because it notoriously does not.
That's really cool. That's really cool that y'all have something building back up in your neck of the woods, so you don't always have to drive like hours to go play a show.
Yeah, but we love the Myrtle Beach scene. I just wanted to say while we're here,
Oh, dude, we talk about it all the time.
we love Myrtle Beach. We love Fresh Brewed and the Brick House and the whole scene here. Everybody's been so great to us. You guys and Jimmy and Fresh Brewed crew and everyone who's come out to our shows. It's great to see people who they know the words. They're buying our shirts. They're
Hell yeah.
interacting with us. It's great.
I'll tell you guys, like, one of the best feelings in the world I've had playing in Myrtle Beach, right? So every show that we've ever played, because it's always been out of town, and the ones that were in town were like our friends coming to support us, right? People that we've invited, because there's not really a scene in Florence. When we play out of town, it was people there to see the other bands and, you know, people who just happened to be at the bar that night, whatever. The second time we played in Myrtle Beach, you know, people showed up with Cleansweep shirts, people we didn't know, you know, and that was fucking incredible.
That's awesome.
That's cool, yeah.
You know, like, I don't think you can really, you know, not a lot of bands can probably say that, you know.
It's
like,
a really cool feeling going out of
it
town.
is.
It made me emotional.
That's
Like,
not
it really
necessarily
did.
to say that there's anything super special, awesome about Cleansweep, but there's something super special, awesome about the crowd here in Myrtle Beach, that they're going to come out and support a band that they've never heard. You know, how many scenes have you guys been to where people are coming to support bands that aren't from that town? Like,
Right.
It doesn't happen.
it's almost
It's really
non-existent
special here
now.
what you guys
So,
have, yeah.
yeah, I think I'm blowing a lot of smoke here, but nonetheless, like, Myrtle Beach is fucking awesome, and we love what you guys are doing.
That means a lot
Yeah.
to hear.
And it feels like home when we play here. It really does.
Yeah.
And
You guys
we
have
love
embraced
it.
us.
We claim y'all as a local band, by the way.
And that really means a lot. We've
Like,
talked about that.
If I got a show, I'm like, all right, so when can I put Cleansweep on something? It's like, this will be good.
And it's great too at Fresh Brewed is all ages, because when you play at bars are great too, but everybody there, maybe some people are there for the show, other people are there to drink and socialize and don't really care what you're doing. But at Fresh Brewed, it's all about the show. It's all about the community. It's all about the bands and the fans, and that's great. We love that.
So, a cool story from the last show that we played here, right? And I really hope you, like, at least you were there to see this.
I was.
But
I don't know what happened.
Well, I know you were at the show, but
yeah.
like, once we were done playing, this little, like, 4-year-old kid came up to me and was asking for a Cleansweep shirt, and we didn't have his size, sadly.
Yeah.
But then, like, when we were outside, I was talking to Costin. I can't remember if you were there or not, but he came up to me. He's like, "Does it hurt your throat when you sing that way?" And I was like, "Well, no, not if you do it the right way." And, like, he looked at his dad and was, like, shaking his head. He was all into it and everything, you know. And, like, I told my wife that. She was like, "Subreddit, that didn't happen." So I was hoping I had some, you know.
It's funny you
somebody
mentioned
there.
Reddit, because I know who you're talking about, and they came to that show because they saw it on Reddit.
I posted
No
that.
shit.
What?
The dad came to us because I think it was like me and Jimmy and Costin were like taking turns running the door, and we would ask people that we never, because, you know, we see like some familiar faces, but if we notice a new face, we're like, "Where'd you hear about the show?" And he said, "Oh, Reddit. I saw an all ages show. I figured I'd bring my kids."
That's awesome.
So-
That's
fucking
so
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
I posted about that because I always try to. I do my little
Josh is our Reddit guy. So.
shots in the dark in
Reddit's
Reddit,
actually
hoping
pretty-
that something
pretty
happens.
good.
I posted about us in our emo, and I think they saw it there. Another funny story from our first Fresh Brewed show was we played, and at the end of the night, we were kind of chatting out in the parking lot with some other people, and there were some younger kids, and they were, you know, we were just chatting about the show and all that, and I was like, yeah, I hadn't played here since 2008 with my old band, and they were like, 2008, I was in kindergarten, and I was like, oh, knife in my chest here.
That hurt me too.
Yeah,
Did you
that
play
was-
with in 2008?
Yeah.
So I played with a band called the Dirty White, and my buddy Bill, he came with us to the pod here too, and we used to be in a band called the Dirty White, and we played. I think it was like one of the very first Fresh Brewed shows.
First started off.
Yeah, it was a good.
It's
good
cool
time.
it's still here. I mean, some
Yeah, and it's
places
still
have
here,
come
still
gone
going,
since
and it's
then. That's good.
even bigger than it was back then. So it's great.
They had to be before 2008. because King's X played there in 2003.
They've
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was a newer place when we played there in
I don't know how long
2008.
they've been there, but
King's X? That's like
King's
that Led
X played
Zeppelin
there, yeah.
band?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I don't
Yeah.
even think it was a different name because they have the flyer in the
it still says
bathroom.
Fresh Brewed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I don't know how long they've been there, but they've been there for.
That's impressive.
Maybe they like reopen. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably changed hands once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe there was a couple times where they didn't always do a lot of shows, but it's been the same people for as long as I can remember. And yeah,
That's what I love about it too. Is like I love that it's a business that provides a cool, safe place for like kids just to come have like a good time and not get into anything crazy. Just come enjoy music, talk with your friends. I like it. It's not. I kind of like it. There's no alcohol there. It's just good vibes, and I just love that.
It's always good to have an all ages spot.
Yeah, a place where like kids can come and
DIY
like,
scene,
good, safe, fun show. And that's just
Good, clean
I just love
fun.
that. Good, clean, sweet fun.
Yeah.
good, clean sweep.
Yeah, I love it.
They do a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah, they do a lot of like community outreach stuff.
And that's
like that,
awesome
so
too. Yeah.
Providing stuff for like homeless people and
Oh, great.
like, they do the NA meetings, AA meetings, stuff like that. So
Awesome.
they're like a really good community hub for all that sort of good stuff.
Shout out to Fresh Brew.
Shout out to Fresh Brew.
Also, shout out Miss Fish because
The place next door.
Oh, yeah.
that place is popping, dude.
Some of the best fish tacos
Low-key,
I've
yeah.
ever had.
It was
And
great.
Christian-
I've never been in there.
I don't think
And
I've
here's
been
their.
there.
This is a shout out to their true customer service too. Christian left a pick on the floor,
It fell out my pocket.
fell
right?
out of his pocket. The waitress comes next door. Is this your pick?
Amazing.
True story.
Shout out. Yeah,
Big shout out.
So, yeah.
Big shout out. So
Mrs.
anyway,
Fish.
Mrs. Fish is great.
Too bad she's married, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Fish.
There was another restaurant in Myrtle Beach called Mr. Fish.
Was there really?
Yeah, I don't think they were. I don't know. Maybe they had a falling out.
Maybe.
split.
It was good though. It was great times. Yeah.
Andrew worries me when he gives the computer this look.
Oh, I had like an update.
No, we haven't been recording for the last 30 minutes.
No,
That
yeah.
has happened.
Yeah, I'll probably cut
that has
this-
happened more than
this
once.
section out. I had a notification about my disc being full. But it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine. I
you've
just had to
you've
empty
given
the
that look
trash.
to. Well, usually you say, "Oh fuck" or something like that, but like you give that computer a look, and I always get a little worried that something went awry.
So, you guys have 12 more songs recorded, or you guys recorded 12 songs?
We've
and there's
released
still some.
we've released 3 of the 12. Now there are some older ones lingering from the past iteration of the band. Tanner, do you want to talk about, is it Basement Eyes coming up next, or what's on
Maybe we don't really know yet, but so we're thinking maybe an EP next with maybe 2 or 3 new songs on it. I guess I don't know. Nothing's set in stone yet though. What kind of sucks about it too is like we've been writing new music, and because we wrote this with older members, it's kind of like some of the songs have phased out. They're not really us anymore. But it's also like, well, we got the songs recorded. Did we go ahead and drop them? You know, we discussed that the other day. Like, there's 2 or 3 where we're like, this doesn't really fit what we do now, but they're kind of good songs.
Yeah, they're still good songs. We want to get them out. But we've also been writing a lot of new stuff that's not recorded that we're kind of anxious to go record. I know there's like 3 at least that we're really wanting to go back into the studio. I'll tell this story since my buddy Bill is here. But we got a song. New song is called Eat Shit and Live, Bill. It's from Sleepaway Camp. I don't know if you guys
Yeah. Eat shit and live, Bill.
You should just die, Ricky.
So, so
I was thinking about that the other day.
And so we're anxious to get that one out. We've got one called Celebrate. If you've seen us live, you've heard us play Celebrate. That one's been around for a little while now. Looking forward to getting that one out here.
Now this is podcasting.
After we were rudely interrupted by me unplugging something.
It's Steve Jobs' fault again.
Tanner, you were about to convey an idea you had.
He's going to drop some
for
live
our
news
new
here.
material. And so I haven't got any of the other guys' approvals on this, but I've been watching a bunch of like 80s flicks lately, and I've noticed like there's these one-liners that just stand out. I think we should like do an EP and just every song be a one-liner from an 80s movie, like the title, you know. That'd be cool, right? Like Eat Shit and Live, Bill. I had a note on my phone with all these one-liners, but from The Outsiders, "Pity the Back Seat." Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That'd
right?
be fun.
Yeah,
I like it.
have a whole '80s movie themed EP.
Just make it all. Just make it a concept record. Fuck it.
Emo Ice Nine
Yeah.
Kills.
Just go ahead and make it a concept record.
I'm down.
Yeah.
The Black Parade Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Do you think we would get a cease and desist if we
You
did
better
that?
believe that.
Maybe.
I mean, I'd welcome it.
I mean, they'll never fucking hear it,
I
right?
don't know. I mean, I guess as long as they don't know about it, they won't do it. It's
When I
we
was-
had some friends release something and get a cease and desist order because they actually reached out to the company.
they reached out to the
They reached out to the company instead of just doing it, and
They
like
probably wouldn't have seen it on
they
their
wouldn't
own.
have seen
Right.
it.
No.
Well, just imagine this big orchestral opening, and then you hear "When I Was a Young Man." Boom! The Black Parade Part 2.
You can play that keyboard part, but just play like
On accordion.
like a
On
like
accordion. Boom! All right, it's happening. I'm here
It'll
for
fall
it.
under parody law.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll do the
That's
Weird
true.
Al version of.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
All Ernest movies.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
All the Ernest movies.
Africa School.
Hey, Vern.
Yeah, I
This parade that's going
I
on.
met him when I was younger at a Planet Hollywood in New York City, and he was a dick.
Don't do that.
Ernest is a dick.
He's dead, right?
People were wanting to get his autograph, and he was acting upset about it. It's like, dude, you are eating in a Planet Hollywood in New York City, and you're getting upset that people are recognizing you. Like, what did you think was going to happen, Vern? Give me a break. Anyway, I did not bother him.
So there's a new album on the way, right?
On the
On the
way.
way.
On the
Yeah.
way.
Way.
We hope we've got a lot of songs to get through out of these 12 to release. We're going to re-release. So if you look on our current Spotify, there's a couple of songs. There's one called Stick Around, which is a popular one in the set. Volumes, and there's one called Untitled. And those will be replaced with newer recordings.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
so we're going to
Tanner's
re-release
version.
those songs.
Yeah, the Tanner's
version. I'm going to wear like
versions.
a purple dress and fucking flip my hair, No, but what we kind of discussed is we might drop it in kind of like an EP format and then, wipe the older songs, just have it with the new lineup, the new versions of it. And
There's a few changes here and
a
there.
few changes, yeah.
Changes.
We'll say when I joined the band, Tanner sent me the pre-pro stuff, and I remember thinking, dude, your old drummer was incredible. And he's like, oh, that's all like programmed drums.
Yeah. What really sucks is so there was about, I'd say, a month and a half gap when the other members left and when Josh first came to see what we were all about. And Josh had been practicing, he was ready and everything. Christian and I were not ready to play with a new drummer. And I know afterwards Josh had to go home and be like, I guess they'll get there.
Who are these fucking kids?
They sent me the pre-pro. I was like, these guys are serious.
Yeah.
I better come ready.
Yeah, and he gets there, and it's like
So
fucking
underwhelming.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum and a fucking sitar, So
But we're here now
we're here now, and we are
on the Winley Pod.
He stayed.
yeah on the
It's
Winley Pod.
Pinnacle of where a band wants to be.
Yeah,
We made it, boys.
I'm just
having a
glad you
blast.
guys didn't do the hit piece on us.
The hit piece.
Wait, what's
Yeah,
this?
I figured we were gonna come up and you were gonna bring shit from.
Oh, a gotcha?
Yeah,
Oh, you gotta go. We gotta
you know.
gotcha.
So
Yeah.
we reached out to one of your former members for a comment.
That he wrote all the songs and you stole them. You want to
Yeah.
elaborate on that one?
So what's next on the horizon for Wendley? So
What-
there's
this
This is the
No,
Cleansweep
no, come
pod.
on.
Yeah, this is y'all's thing. People that follow us know our bullshit.
You know.
we want to know about y'all's.
It's just
bullshit.
deflecting, so
Well, where'd you guys record?
So we record with Sound Force Recording.
Sound Force.
Yeah, he's a
Lakeview,
little
yeah.
independent guy out of Lakeview, South Carolina.
We're outside Dillon.
home of the Gators.
Yeah, he's got a spot, and I think he does a pretty incredible job.
Shout out
You
to
know?
Cody.
Cody
Oh, that
with a
stuff
K.
sounds
Shout
really
out
good.
Cody.
Koty.
Like
Very.
we went in
Kotex.
and he shelled out an empty building and he built everything, the wiring, the air conditioning, all the soundproofing, the vocal booth, all with his own 2 hands, and it's all professional level. Like, he studied his butt off.
That's cool.
And he knows he has a whole Pro Tools rig set up, everything. A professional band could go in there and record no problem. And he knows what he's doing, and he's always so patient and just a great guy. And like,
Shout out, Cody.
Shout out, Cody.
Big shout out.
The invisible member of the band.
It sounds really like all that stuff you have uploaded sounds like really, really good. I had the same question. I was wondering where they went and recorded too.
Does he like play a role as far as like producing? Kind of like we talked to Daryl Cherry, who's a producer around here. He gives a lot of insight to people he works with. Does he do the same for you guys?
He's kind of like the 5th Beatle in a way. Yeah, he kind of.
Yeah, so
George Martin.
Yeah, he's like the George Martin, and in some ways he gives some ideas on like keys, like if we needed like some keys in a chorus or something in the background and stuff like that, or he helps keep us in track on something like when maybe we're a little pitchy on some things. He'll help us autocorrect, and I know Tanner he's just some guitar stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to undermine Cody at all, because we'll go in and so we do pre-production before we record all this stuff, and I may have like a shell of a song, and before we know it, we've dug into a song for the last 8 hours and just built this completely new song out of it. So, I mean, he's just super talented. He's a great musician, great producer.
He plays on the record. He plays on.
He does.
We had with work and everything, we were only able to get on the weekends sometimes. So because of that, we had so many guitar tracks per song that the guitar work because it had to be due to timing. It was divided up amongst me, Tanner, and Cody. And Cody because we had such a great history with him, he was the only person we trusted, and it felt right having him on the record on a musical level. It felt like he belonged on it. So yeah. But shout out to Cody, dude.
Big shout out.
Yeah. So Sound Force Recordings, I recommend them. Shout out.
Sound Force.
I don't know where you can find him though, because I don't think he's got social media. Does he have social media?
He's on
okay.
Facebook at least.
Okay.
$200 a song too. That's what he charged us for mixing, mastering.
Now everybody's going to be like banging on his door. Hey, you said $200 for a song. Why you charge me $500? Good job, Christian. We just lost our fucking producer.
You guys know anybody? It's great.
We don't have any more shows this year that I know of.
Yeah, so I guess it's a good time to address this too. We are taking a little bit of a break right now, just spending some time with our families over the holidays, and I haven't been posting much on social media for the band, but I think we played a good bit of shows this summer and did a good bit of releasing, and I think we all kind of want to wind down a little bit until maybe the beginning of the year when we're ready to release some new material.
Get the ground running.
Yeah, we've got a show, was it January 19th at Art Bar, and then January 20th in Raleigh.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you're not seeing any posts from Cleansweep, it's not that we don't love you. We're fucking tired,
Very understandable.
The girlfriends and wives are getting mad at us.
And if somebody wants us to play, hey, hit us up. We might can make it happen. But we're going to release some more stuff, and I assume we need to go into the studio at some point to lay down these other ones we've got to finish one, but we'll probably go into track three more songs. But yeah, we'll start steadily releasing some more stuff,
and maybe record time after time,
so maybe we'll go into track 4. Maybe we need to go track 4
by popular demand, time after time.
I mean, it really is by popular demand.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm glad to have discovered you guys. I didn't discover you, but in a personal way back in January, because I missed one of the shows, but both shows I've seen, it's a good time. Solid tunes. They all provide something kind of interesting, like in a groove sense.
Nice.
So I always have fun when the clean sweep comes around.
Well, I think you gotta, we try to treat every song like it's going to be a single. So that's why I think everything has its own unique groove.
What's the Notre Dame score right now? I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No, what do you have it though?
I can find out.
Okay.
I thought I had it on set.
This is a Sports Minute on Winley Mania.
Sports Minute.
I was going to mention that with your frontman your front mannerisms. Is that a
That's
word?
a new
Your
word.
front
I like that.
mannerisms.
I'll take that.
You require a lot of involvement from the. Well, you don't require, but you encourage it.
He engages
Yeah,
very well.
you're very good at that. The engaging.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I know when I'm at a show, like, I want to feel like the band's there for me in a sense, right? So, like, I guess the type of shows I don't enjoy is when a band goes up there, they play their songs, and they just get the fuck out, right? I want it to be an experience. If I want to just hear your music, I'd probably just listen to you on Spotify.
Could've just stayed home. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I think people enjoy that too. You know, you got the vocalist up in your face, and then you get to come up and talk to him afterwards, and you know, you feel like a part of the whole experience. And also, I'm like just a fucking lunatic on stage. I don't know what it is. You know, I do a lot of cocaine. So
He does not. I want on the record. He does not.
I want to say I appreciate
drug-free
that. I
band.
appreciate that about you, Tanner. That
You don't do cocaine?
you don't
Yes.
do cocaine.
Yes.
but
about that, I do a lot of cocaine.
He does not.
You know, in a lot of bands,
He shares.
especially a lot of local bands, you guys have played in. You know, there's usually the lead singer either is bound to an instrument or either shies away from the spotlight. And I appreciate, Tanner, that you embrace the spotlight and get out there and really you know, put in the work that, you know, honestly it can be a little awkward, you know, to most of us people in bands. You know, you don't really, it's harder to, you know, to find that side of yourself to go out there and really just own the crowd. Because there's always like some self-consciousness that, I mean, we're musicians. We go out there, we play shows, and it's always kind of like, are they going to like us? Are we doing good?
Do I look cool?
Do I look cool right now? Where's my leather jacket? Are we going to go crush this? And so to actually just go out there and own it, hats off to you, Tanner, to go out there and own it, whether there's 3 people or 100 people. Just go out there and do your thing.
Well, that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy, Josh. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't think that
Fuzzy
highly
hour,
of it.
you know?
I don't think that highly of it.
I mean, it could just be maybe it's the cocaine, but you know.
I'll bring you back down to earth.
By the way, Christian is an alcoholic. I want that on record.
Mom, I promise I'm not. Just a little bit.
He only drinks before church. That's it. I hope Christian's mom listens to this.
She is. I'm
gonna
gonna make
listen
sure
to this.
she's all right now.
So
Make sure
for-
you send me the podcast.
So I'll never forget, like, we released Untitled, and, you know, the main lyric in Untitled is God damn you, right? And I'll never forget, Christian just joined the band, and he comes over for practice one night, and he's like, dude, my mom listened to it. She's like, honey, it sounds really good, but did you really have to say that word so much?
Did you have to swear? And I told her we were putting out a song. She's like, I don't mind swearing. Just promise me it's not going to be GD. And I'm like, oh, Mom, it's the only word. And it's said like 10 times. It's almost like we wrote it in
It is the
spite of her.
chorus entirely.
Yeah, so.
That's funny.
It's funny. Good times, though.
Well, we're figuring out what's coming out new musically as far as album EP show in January, and what anything else? What's the end game for the clean sweep? What do you guys want?
To work at KFC.
Okay, you can probably do that. Well, you can probably do that.
Yeah, I think so. It's
easier.
obtainable at least.
Yeah.
I got an interview
You know.
next week, so hopefully it goes well.
Hell yeah. There we go.
Josh is actually
Interviewing with the Colonel.
With the Colonel.
he's
Brought him back from
interviewing.
the dead.
I'm going to be the Colonel.
That's what I was about to say. He's interviewing. We broke the news. Josh is interviewing to be the Colonel,
Wow.
and I'm going to step down as the Colonel.
We're bringing back Extra Crispy and the popcorn chicken if
What
I'm in
was the
charge.
thing that you? What was the one that you
The
always?
buffalo chicken snacker.
Done.
It's the,
Yeah, you better believe it, bud.
You better believe it.
it was the best
back.
item on their menu, and then they took it away.
Is that why you hate KFC so much?
That's
Is
not
it
why I hate KFC, but it's definitely a
It built
large
the-
a factor.
added to the resentment?
Yeah, it was a moment in my life where I was like, things just go away and they never come back. You know, it was kind of like, you know, you're learning about death as like, you know, whenever, you know, you're like, oh, you just stop and that's it. And that's how it was when I learned about my mortality through that sandwich. And
First grandma, now the buffalo chicken snacker. It's just one thing after another.
Yeah.
So
Life sucks.
I know we started the podcast off with this whole KFC talk, and I feel like we can't close it out until we know the lore behind your hatred for KFC. Like, it would feel
I feel like we're
unfitting.
getting closer. Like, they took away the buffalo chicken
it's
snacker.
not very much a lore. It's just more of like a. It's like a long relationship, after that, it was just like, all right, KFC, that's quite the choice you decided to make, and things just started to change, and it is almost like a long relationship going sour. Everything starts off great in the beginning, and it's
Stars in your eyes.
you don't
honeymoon phase.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase, and then
The buffalo chicken snacker phase.
you meet their parents, and
I mean, we need to
talk about
find their-
settling down.
You find their bathroom habits.
You meet Mr. and Mrs.
Picking out
Carl
towels
and-
together.
I feel like we need to build this KFC lore.
What do you mean with the lore? What the lore?
There's
gotta
gotta
be
be
a lore.
fucking lore, dude. Like,
it's
gotta.
that simple.
We're
There has to
writing
be
it
a night
now.
where you puked up a fucking chicken leg or something.
Oh no, I have a very strong stomach.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you can eat the whole chicken
I
leg
can
and
eat the
not puke
chicken,
it
but I'm
up.
not going to be happy about it.
No,
It's
like the
diff-
bone and all, whole chicken leg.
Yeah, I slurp them bones down.
Word.
Them bones.
And I'm talking about one whole chicken leg, the chicken on the bone and all.
Get
Are you a
KFC
marrow
after this?
guy?
you gonna prove a point?
I won't be happy about it. And I'll try, like, sometimes they'll put out, like, the new gimmick item, like a new specialty item, and it'll pique my interest because it's like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a minute. It's usually like
Sending
those,
that UOP text.
yeah, it's definitely one of those. I'm maybe a bit inebriated, and it's like you start thinking about them, and you try to reach out, and you get the fucking Nashville chicken tenders, and you're like, wow, this is like they mixed kerosene and ketchup. This is terrible. But
While we're here, you guys are band guys. So, what's your favorite post-show meal?
Probably Sheets.
Sheets, yeah.
Okay.
But like we don't have Sheets in South Carolina, so it sucks.
So yeah, what about you're having a show around here? What are you eating?
We usually hit
I just
Waffle
go home.
House or go home.
Waffle House is the
But then, like, everyone else goes to Waffle House.
We used to go to Denny's a lot.
We used to hit
They
Denny's,
all
but Denny's
closed,
started, like, much like KFC, the quality diminished, and it was a long-term relationship going sour. And we
After
did
the
not want
Denny's
to
Grand
stick
Slam,
around.
it just all went to shit.
Well, they stopped being open, like, all night. And
Can
for
we have
little
a
bit.
show in a Denny's like that?
Like that video?
That video. Let's open up this pit, Denny's.
Denny's closed down at the beach, didn't it?
We had a couple closed down, but I think there's like we got one left. I haven't been in a while.
Because the
though.
one on the north end, I was about to walk in the door, and the health rating was a red C, and I was like,
I don't know.
that C is short for quality.
ooh. I thought cigarette butts in your food.
Did you the diner one? The
Yeah,
one?
that was the diner one.
That's
yeah.
a different place now. It's
Yeah.
actually really good.
It's really the King Sushi across the street is my favorite restaurant.
that place is
period.
good too.
Yeah,
Shout
you
out.
shout out
guys
to King
know?
Sushi.
Shout out to local restaurants.
Absolutely.
Did you guys know that Sonic closes their drive-through after 10?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, right?
That's
we
stupid.
We tried when we played in Columbia, not last time, but the time before. We went to go get Sonic, and they only had. Wait, no, I may have said that wrong. It's the drive-in that's closed.
The drive-through is open. Yeah.
Drive-through's open, but the drive-in
Oh.
is closed. What? Why?
That's messed
You'd
up.
have to ask Sonic.
Yeah, that's
John
we don't
Sonic.
have-
is the
I
guy.
don't have
Probably
the
the
answers to that
fucking-
question.
I'm just
Probably
gonna
the
go. I'm gonna
fucking
say
Colonel on
that,
Sonic now.
The Taco Bell is my after-show food of choice. I love
Taco
good
Hell.
Taco Bell. It's only good after a show. I don't know about normally, but after a practice, late at night, Taco Bell hits.
Can't go wrong.
So where can we find the Cleansweep stuff on the internet and the whatnot?
So
Mainly
you,
the internet.
any kind of streaming service, Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah.
I think we're on Deezer too.
Deezer's the one.
What?
Yeah.
Deezer.
Are we?
even know
I think
what it
we're on
is.
Deezer.
What is that?
Tidal? I know we're on Tidal.
Oh yeah.
Are we on Pandora? Is
I don't know if we
Pandora
pay
You guys
for the
speaking English?
mastering
What is this?
on Tidal. Like,
Oh, the deluxe Dolby Atmos.
yes,
Master-
I
You
don't.
got the
I don't
Atmos
think
version?
we.
like
on
$7.95.
Yeah, I don't think we do that. But anyways, yeah, we're on Tidal, Deezer. I think we're on Deezer, Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. Then socials are Facebook,
Instagram.
YouTube.
Is it at
What are
Clean
those
Sweep?
ads?
Or
We just changed
It's-
it to be a little easier to find, and it's now called.
At Clean Sweep Band SC,
okay.
because all the other at Clean Sweep.
Taken by the old band members.
Yeah.
Taken by
In
cleaning
a-
companies.
In
Yeah.
a sabotage attempt.
There's also a band called Clean Sweep in Germany. Yeah, so don't get us confused with them. I mean, it'd be kind of tough, but still, don't do that. And actually, they hit me up on Instagram not too long ago and
Really?
said, "Hey, we like your music."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's-
Kindred spirits.
There was another band, it was Cold Spine, that was on the podcast over a year ago, and same thing. There was a German band called Cold Spine, but he didn't have as positive of an outlook on it.
Oh wow.
R.I.P. Aaron, but he had some harsh words.
You want to fight for it?
No,
Yeah.
Clean Sweep Germany are our boys. We're going to go on tour with them in
Sweet.
Dufert, Germany.
I like that.
We're not really.
Clean Sweep and Clean Sweep.
Cleanest week.
Yeah.
cleanest,
Who can clean?
cleaner.
You'll be
Who can clean
swept
better?
away.
Be swept cleaner.
You'll be swept away at the Clean Sweep show.
And actually, I think we're going to start incorporating this into like our merch or something. But
You should sell brooms.
so, that'd be really
like
shit.
for real, I've recommended that before.
But we at our first Myrtle Beach show, there's a clip. We played a song, and afterwards, somebody yells out "squeaky clean,"
Squeaky clean.
and I think that needs to be the new Clean Sweep motto: "Squeaky clean."
Squeaky clean.
Would you guys buy a squeaky
I
clean
would buy
shirt?
a squeaky
Sure.
Yeah, if you had if it looked like some kind of advertising.
Like Mr.
Yeah.
Clean with
We
like a
do
lip
need-
ring or
We
something.
do need to do a Mr. Clean inspired Clean Sweep
We
shirt.
get so soon,
Good.
but it's so worth it.
You guys got to do the Darlington Raceway one too, for sure.
Oh yeah, we need like a racing one,
You got to
inspired
do the
one,
Darlington
yeah.
Speedway
With all
logo.
the '90s vibes. Yeah.
Mullet,
I'm here for it.
mustache. Yeah.
Like the wall at Darlington, but it's Clean Sweep instead.
Mm.
That'd be kinda
Like that.
Now we're getting business.
There we go.
Oh
You
yeah.
could have a Clean Sweep
Branding.
car
You
that
guys are
looks
gonna
like the
get a
Tide
portion of
car.
each
Yeah.
Shirt we sell.
Well, at Clean Sweep Band SC to find more of the Clean Sweep. They have a bunch of singles out, and you should go do that. So thank you guys for hanging out on the Windley Mania, man.
Thanks for having
appreciate
us.
it.
Thanks for having us,
for having
guys.
us.
Learned a lot.
Scene's been great to
guys.
us.
Wrap
Really
this
grateful.
up. Go get us a big old bucket of KFC.
I'm not eating
Fucking-
KFC.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But I have to. Hey, Bill, did you want to say anything?
I like turtles.
There you go.
Squeaky clean.
Fuck yeah.
You heard it here first.
All
Thanks
right,
for having us,
so,
everybody.
Again, Clean Sweep. Thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. Really appreciate it.
Up 7.
Up 7.
Yeah.
Where are they at in the game?
First quarter.
Still right now? Oh yeah, I guess it is. It is only 8 o'clock. All right. So yeah, if you want to follow at Windley_band as well for all the Windley crap, but most importantly, what you have to do if you want to see bands, maybe like Windley, but maybe more so like Clean Sweep, you have to go to at Myrtle Beach shows where they have all the stuff about shows in Myrtle Beach. There's more shows in Myrtle Beach, but there's nothing like a Myrtle Beach show.
Nothing like it.
So at Myrtle Beach shows, and we got some shows lined up real quick. November 18th at the Fresh Brewed Coffee House, Savant, Christian Gill, Bisky Christ, Bubba Graham, and Frank the Frog.
Shout out Frank the Frog.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Ribbit.
My tadpole from a dad hole.
November 19th at the Next Level Fitness Gym. It's like a toy drive, right?
I believe it's
Just
like a
announced
benefit show,
today, yeah.
toy drive
Nice.
sort of
But
thing.
Restless Spirit, Hymns of Blasphemy, Bathsheba, and someone else that he announced. But that's
It's not on that flyer, but it got announced,
Okay.
so you'll be able to find it.
So November 19th at the Next Level Fitness Gym. And November 26th at Arcadia Studios, Rat Poison, Intimidator, Quiet, Warning Order, and Dead Friends at Arcadia Studios. And
By the time this comes out, we might have a couple other shows announced.
December 16th
December 16th, there's going to be a show,
at Fresh Brewed.
and there's probably more. We'll see. We'll see what's happening.
I don't know any. I just know December 16th.
I mean, we're going to have a show also. I just don't know when.
Oh,
we're
in like
announcing.
January.
Yeah, it'll be in January.
I don't know where.
Keep it out. It'll be at Fresh Brewed in January.
Dead
There's a
Friends,
Winley
that's
show
so
at Fresh
sad.
Brewed. I forgot the date, or else I'd say it right now.
All right.
So look out for that. It's probably
sad.
announced. If it's announced, go there. If it's not announced, be ready to go there.
I'm
Goddamn.
ready.
Do you guys have anything else intelligent to say?
Thank you for welcoming us and just an awesome scene.
Thank you.
It's an honor to be a part of
Very
it. We
intelligent.
felt so loved and just happy to be here.
Sweet.
Support local music.
Absolutely.
and
Support
support
Cleansweep.
Christian and his AA meetings.
I need it.
Yeah, he does. I know a place.
Fresh Brewed Coffee House. Shout out to Fresh Brewed, man. Always there
Thanks,
when you
guys.
need them.
So thanks again, Clean Sweep, and again follow at Windley_band for all more of all the Windley crap because it's a bunch of Windley crap.
Yeah, probably a
And,
song or two out by now.
That's it.
Go find it.
All right, Devin. Let's get. Hey, man. Let's get out of here. Bro.
Let's get out of here.
Let's fucking
Hey,
blow it.
Let's hit the bricks.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about it?
Yeah. Goodbye.